Hello, and welcome back to Analyzing Evil. Today, we explore the manipulative mind of Mathias, the primary antagonist from the 2013 reboot of Tomb Raider. Before I continue, I won't be covering the character of Mathias as he appears in the 2018 Tomb Raider film adaptation, since the version was written by a different team and doesn't follow the same continuity as the video game storyline. So, without further ado, let's dive in. We venture into the descent of a man whose desperation created doctrine, whose madness gave rise to faith, and whose environment shaped him into one of the gaming's most dangerous cult leaders. In a franchise filled with ancient curses, deadly traps, and long-lost civilizations, few villains have felt as eerily grounded and deeply disturbing as Mathias, the mad prophet of the island of Yamatai. His descent into extreme belief and manipulation, and his role into the survivalist cult known as the Solarii Brotherhood, makes him one of the most disturbing minds Lara Croft has ever encountered. To understand Mathias, we must first understand the island he calls home. In the gameplay experience of Tomb Raider, Yamatai is portrayed not just as a setting, but as a mental challenge. Dense forests, ruined shrines, and ancient temples from a tight and confusing space where danger lurks behind every corner. Players traverse unstable mountain paths, burn through barriers, and battle scavengers, all while storms range overhead, making the island feel alive, angry, watching, and impossible to escape. The environment of Yamatai reflects a kind of hostile sentience. Fires break out spontaneously, winds tear through camps, and strange symbols give a creepy feeling. This ever-present threat becomes a character in itself. Shaping the people who survive there, it's within the harsh place that Mathias was reshaped. The island's isolation eroded his rationality, its strange beliefs gave him justification, and its hostility fueled belief that the only extreme measure, our violence, sacrifice, and unwavering faith, could deliver salvation. The men Lara Croft encounters on the island are not mindless drones. They are broken survivors, deeply changed by years of fear and indoctrination. Many began, like Mathias, as castaways looking for help, but the environment and Mathias' leadership warped them. Their brutality is a reflection of the island's own madness. They have become hunters, jailers, and executioners, bound by extreme belief that escape is possible only through Himiko's resurrection. They kill not only to survive, but because they come to believe it's the only way to be saved. The island of Yamatai lies deep within the treacherous Dragon's Triangle, a region infamous for sudden squalls and mysterious disappearances. Once the seat of power from the mystical Sun Queen Himiko, Yamatai was lost to time and myth. Himiko ruled centuries ago with godlike reverence, believed to possess control over the very weather. Upon her death, her spirit remained bound to the island through a magical ritual to transfer her spirit to a suitable host. But the ritual failed time and again. Himiko's soul, trapped within a vessel, cursed the island. The surrounding storms prevented escape, locking countless victims on Yamatai over for centuries. The natural world there twisted in a mirror of a spiritual unrest that dominated the island, a land steeped in decay, madness, and desperation. Mathias was once an ordinary man, a missionary, a survivor, and initially a hopeful leader. After being shipwrecked on Yamatai years before Lara Croft's expedition, he found himself among scattered survivors and hostile remnants of the island's past. At first, he clung to humanity, but the storms would not cease. Rescue never came. With each failed escape, each death, each whisper of Himiko's power, Mathias changed. He abandoned hope and embraced faith through fear. He conducted that the only way off the island was to complete the ritual, to give Himiko a new host, and thus appease the storm goddess. This belief became obsession, and through that obsession, he found power. His motivations evolved. No longer seeking survival, Mathias became driven by the promise of purpose. He convinced himself and others that their suffering was divine, but their servitude had meaning. He reshaped his identity as a prophet, one chosen to intercept Himiko's will, no matter the cost. Mathias founded the Solarii Brotherhood by exploiting the desperation of other shipwreck survivors, isolated from the world, traumatized, and hopeless. Many were easy to manipulate. He preached discipline, sacrifice, and loyalty to Himiko. Dissenters were broken or killed. Over time, this group evolved into a paramilitary death cult. The Solarii built their society from the wreckage of dozens of ships and planes, creating temples, barracks, and shrines. Rituals and executions became common. Mathias turned their pain into structured belief, conditioning his followers to believe that only through Himiko's resurrection would they escape Yamatai. In truth, Mathias used religion not for belief, but for absolute control. When Laura and her team crash-landed on Yamatai, Mathias saw it as providence. Among them was Samantha Nishimura, a woman of royal Japanese descent. In Mathias's mind, she was the perfect vessel for Himiko. She was captured and prepared for the final ritual. Mathias fixated on Sam, treating her as a chosen one while orchestrating the brutal deaths of the rest of her crew. Lara, thrust from academic curiosity into the fight for survival, witnessed the horrors of Mathias's regime. He was not only a manipulator of minds, but a man capable of murder, torture, and brainwashing. His confrontations with Lara were less about physical domination and more about clash of beliefs. Mathias saw faith in control, Lara in freedom. Their battle was as much as ideological as it was physical. Mathias is not merely a villain, he is a tragic study of how isolation, fear, and obsession can twist morally into fanaticism. A missionary became a murderer, a castaway became a cult leader, and a man once seeking salvation became a tyrant who found comfort in control. His actions cannot be justified, but they can be understood. He represents how the need for meaning, when perverted by depression, becomes dangerous. Mathias found purpose on Yamatai, but it was forged through suffering, delusion, and death. So we leave you with this question. When survival becomes a religion, how far will a man go to ensure he remains its prophet?